Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 58 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of ATM10 to the skies. Today, stuffs. Last episode we got very close to making our processing board. We have basically everything we need. And we have random access memory, I thought, but you know what? I didn't link the thingy, I bet. Yep, there we go. Now we've got everything we need, minus the processing boards. So this last piece of the puzzle is what's going to allow us to get this thing that we're working towards, which is going to be cool. So in order to get this bad boy, we're going to need to do a little bit more chemical processing stuffs. This has kind of become my de facto chemical area, but it's rapidly turning into like a 1990s screensaver. So I need to think about either moving this around or doing something, you know, different. Maybe a new spot for it would be cool. I feel like that would be cool. I feel like we can also probably mute these animal sounds, right? Wrong button. This one. Let's do spot 3. Radius 9. Accept. Cow, pig, cow, sheep, sheep, pig. Is that it? Are we done already? It's pretty cool. So much better. I love the sounds of silence. So let's, maybe something like that. Yeah. This will give me more chemical processing area. And then we'll throw down like a nice ferroflare lantern. It's always funny to me that ferroflare lantern happens to be in between a bunch of crops. Because it's like, I can't find it. But then it's real easy, right? I just need to run some more cables and another dude, and then we're good to go. Right? Maybe right there-ish. That should be doable. Okay. Sweet. Alright, and then we'll just run some more aluminum cable, probably off in this direction. I'll probably run it... I kind of want to, like, run it down. Because power should always really be underneath things, but, you know... It's dire. He doesn't always do that. So if I ran you over here, and then a nice MV to HV dude. And then we've got power. Okay. So realistically, and what I could do, actually, what I'll probably want to do, I'm probably going to want 2 rows of things here. So let's think that out. Yeah, let's do 2 rows of more chemical reactor. I don't know how much we're going to need. I just have no idea. So I'm just kind of winging this. But let's plan for the future, right? So you to that. But no, not actually there. I want you, like, here. Right? Perfect. That's what I want, right? And then we can have this dude. So first thing we need to make is polyvinyl chloride, which is made with vinyl chloride. Are we sure we didn't do this already? I thought we did this already. No, we need styrene butadiene rubber, which is a very similar looking recipe, to be fair. It's a very similar looking recipe, to be fair. There's a reason I felt like I had done that before. So we need 2 chemical reactors, 2 machine holes, and then we align it on this line so that we're good to go, right? And maybe we'll just have another interface right here. And then that one can be for, like, the next row. Because like I said, I have no idea how many... we're figuring it out as we go. Cool. So step 1 is this guy. So you're just going to need acetine and hydrochloric acid. So do we have those? We're going to find out. Acetine, yes. Hydrochloric acid, apparently, yes. Cool. Okay. So that should be straightforward. Let's do... You can be acetine, and you can be hydrochloric acid. And that should be simple and straightforward. And then you get your hull, and then you get your electrum cable. And that's what we're talking about, right? And then you're going to make vinyl chloride, whose only job is to make polyvinyl chloride, right? So no reason to store it, no reason to do anything else with it. Just push to the right, please. And then your job will be polyvinyl chloride using, let's do chromium dust, right? Just because we have a ton of it, I think, right? And I'm assuming it's the same deal as the other one, where it's like better to do, we'll get 700 versus 300, right? So yeah, we're going to lock you into this recipe, right? Hull for power, you're getting vinyl, chromium dust. You can be removed. And item pipe. And tiny chromium dust. And that should be cool. Nice. All right. And then that covers all of that. Now, polyvinyl chloride can be used to make a bunch of things, so we should store this. Okay? So you are going to get the pipe and the tank treatment. So we'll do one of you. And that's cool. Perfect. Polyvinyl chloride up and running. So I'm thinking over here is where we'll set up the processing board, which will be an assembler. Because again, this is kind of like our miscellaneous stuffs area, right? So we should be able to make this happen. Maybe. And you're going to get, not a turbo, just an advanced. Cool. So then you need to make this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 things. Okay? Now, we've already got 1 fluid pipe going up here. I think 3 is the max we can put in a spot, right? Yeah, I don't think I can have a 4th thing going there. And then just tell me, are there like any weird outputs? No, no weird outputs. So what I could have... is... Let's do a green pipe. Going into you. And And then you're going to be this polyvinyl chloride output. Cool. Perfect. Okay. And then you can get item pipes in here. And you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to be... We're getting low on space, aren't we? A little bit. A little bit. Do we have any of those yet? Not really, I don't think. So let's do platinum plates, digital circuit boards. Okay, annealed copper cables, which apparently you know how to make. Hooray. And then cadmium batteries, which may or may not have been taught yet. Nope, we have cadmium, we just don't have the battery crafting. And then in theory, that should be cool. And then put you guys away so that you don't fill up. Right, I forgot to lock the recipe, but that's fine. Look, cadmium batteries is happening. Sweet. Sweet. I think this is a thing. Right, and then you auto eject. That counts as being in my inventory for quest purposes. You are behaving. And I just need my vinyl chloride and polyvinyl chloride buckets for the quest purposes. That's fine. Right? And then processing board, quest completed, which means I should be able to make a processing unit now. If I'm not mistaken, after a quick nap, which I have deserved, I've earned a little nap. Get rid of the rain. Okay. So you guys are all cool now, and then you just need to know how to make a processing board. Right? So everything is being done already, and that means processing board is good to go. Right? A few things to make, not a big deal. Thanks to our super fast autocraft, we got it on lock. Boom! Check it out! That's what's up. How come my loot rewards are always nothing anymore? It hurts. It hurts. So large advanced motor needs one of those, I believe. It does. It needs a processing unit. Not a big deal. We can make that happen. Right? Quest complete number 2. But you want a large advanced pump too, don't you? Advanced pump. Do I know how to make those yet? Yes. No, large advanced pump. Large advanced pump. We know how to make the advanced pump. I want the large advanced pump. We need titanium rotors. We need a little bit more electrum fine wire, more silicon plate, and more digital circuit boards. Don't we know how to make digital circuit boards? Like, are we stocking those, or what's the deal? We might be... Yeah, no, we're stocking those. Okay, that's fine. Titanium rotors is really the only thing we need to know how to make, but, like, that should be fine. Surprised that I don't already have those, but... Alright, so available 512, missing 48. Electrum fine wire, we're a little bit short on. I wish I could just bump this up a little bit, because, like, the next tier is just, like, a stupid amount, right? For Electrum fine wire. So frustrating. I guess, technically, what I could do, but you can only do it once per set, is I could double it by just taking one of these out of here and putting it in there. But, like, you can only do that once. Right. I wish functional storage had, like, a 2x multiplier. Like, I love multiply by 8. I wish there was just, like, a simple 2x multiplier. That would be super cool. Just cause. So I guess what I'll do, because Electrum, how are we for gold these days? Pretty good. We do that, it's effectively the same as adding another copper, right? Because realistically, having them both in there is the same as having neither of them in there. Large advanced pump. Cool. Titanium blades. Do we just not know how to make those? I'm assuming that to be the case. Large advanced pump. Sweet. We're just low on silicon plates now, which, same kind of problem, I assume? Yeah, pretty much. This one I might do... Kinda hate it. So we let that fill up, and then we can do the craft, and then I decide later if I want to have more. I'm on board with that. Hooray, the crafting has started. That's what counts. Do all the things. Look at it go. It is, you have to admit, it's fun to watch. All the numbers flickering so fast. It's so cool. It's so cool. And that, my friends, is the large advanced pump and the large advanced motor, which is cool. Which means that we can now get to highly advanced machine hulls if we want. We can also make 4x highly advanced upgrades, which is an assembler dude with some more of that polyvinyl chloride. Yeah, we done did the thing. That is cool. So I'm guessing this leads me to the next chapter. Is that what I should expect to believe to be true? Maybe. Maybe. Right? Because I feel like all of this over here on the left is all just like nuclear reactor stuff. Some of this might be needed, I don't know, like processing array and implosion. Like, I don't know if I need those, but that's pretty cool. The other thing I wouldn't, is probably nice to have would be the tungsten doohickey. We never did actually process all that. But that shouldn't be too bad, because we do have tungsten, right? That should be processable. You know what we can do? We can process you, right? Because tungsten can turn into that, which can be actually not processed by our whole setup. What do we do with tungsten once we have it? Like, what's the proper way to process tungsten, please? What do we do with tungsten? Like, what's the actual correct way to process this? I'm not seeing it. Am I crazy? Like there's other mods that do stuff with it, but there's got to be a way to process it with modern industrialization, right? We can macerate it into tungsten dust. And then what? Nothing. All right. Quest book help. You can find tungsten ore around the world using breaking it. Yeah, no, we already have some. Tungsten dust needs to be broken down into a smaller variant to allow processing. So you have to get tiny tungsten dust, and then you can either implosion compress it or electric compressor it. And that'll make nuggets, which then can be combined into that. Okay, so we need to electric compress the tiny dust. So we have to turn it into dust, then make it tiny dust, then compress it into nuggets, then make it into ingots. Doesn't sound so bad, right? So realistically, all we need is an electric macerator for the raw tungsten, and probably a chemicals. We could do this down here, similar to how we set up a processor for like you, right? It's a little silly to do it this way, I feel like, but also it's what you're making me do. So I could hide this like right behind this thing, and I feel like that would work. What I should do is do a cut. Right? Just give myself a little bit more real estate. And then you're very simply going to be another squeezer whose job will be to process tungsten into raw, right? And then we're going to want a macerator, and then we're going to want a compressor. And then we're going to want also a functional storage. I can never find them because they look just like the simple drawers. This dude. Okay. So you're going to be here. Well, I bet. You know what I could do? Because I'm cool like that. Okay. So you're doing platinum ore. You're going to do tungsten ore. Right? And then tungsten ore should go right in there. And then boom. And become raw tungsten. Okay. And then we can macerator it. And remember, he wants to extract from the bottom. So you should get a couple holes, by the way. Because we're going to want, oh my goodness, silicon dust. So electrum cable. No, I still need you. Cool. What are the chances we're gonna have silicon dust soon? Well, I could force it to happen soon. Alright, maybe that was a little too forcey. Okay. So now you're going to get that to have power. Doot. Doot. You're going to make that. Okay. Which will output to the top. And these drawers are special in that, yeah, see? And then you, electric compressor, can lock your recipe for tungsten nuggets. Okay. And what you can do can be tiny tungsten dust goes in, tiny tungsten dust comes out, and that should work. And then electrum cable, pull, and then functional compacting drawer. Wow, you are slow. You are slow. Woohoo! That is slow. Let's go, electric compressor. I see now why the implosion dude is, you know, the crowd favorite. He'll get there when he gets there. I remember looking at the rest of me like, why would I use an implosion compressor? That seems way more expensive. Why not just Oh, now I know. Alright, so wrapping up point, L20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I guess technically if I want this to be a thing, I should do this. Right? And then quest completed, quest completed, quest completed, tiny dust, quest completed. Tiny nugget, quest completed. And then you just want me to have an ingot, which technically I could have pretty soon. Yeah, it's just not gonna be fast enough, is it? I guess I could throw a turbo hole in here and just hook you up directly to... I mean, we don't really have HV cable in this direction, but we could make it happen. Come on, one more. One more. Dyer wants an ingot. Thank you. Okay, and then we can get mixed blast-proof ingot, which is a packer. Okay, because we already have titanium, tungsten, and stainless steel, so that should not be a problem. And then electric compressor to pack it, right? That gets 3. 2 becomes 1 plate. 1 becomes 3 ingots, which I assume 1 to 1 to plate. Yeah, so that's like 6 times better. Implosion compressor is clearly the thing that we're going to want to work towards, but I think I'm going to take a little break from modern industrialization and work on some other stuff, because we've been doing a lot of this. But like, it's fun. Dyer just scratches Dyer's automation fun itch. Like, I like automating things, and like, there's a lot to automate over there. So it's a fun mod, dude. I'm really enjoying it, especially now that I have like a better understanding of how it's meant to work, kind of deal. And it's good in my opinion. Hope you guys are enjoying it, because I am. For now, I'll twice sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time to do more stuffs. Maybe a little break from modern industrialization, but don't worry, we'll get back to it. For now, take it easy.